It's time for another edition of Lewis at Large with Warner Lewis. 60 minutes of smart talk radio with interesting guests from all walks of life begins right now. So sit back and enjoy. And now, from the flight deck, here's your host, Warner Lewis.
Well, welcome everybody to another segment of Lewis at Large. Yours truly, Warner Lewis from the flight deck, and that, of course, means some very smart talk radios in your future, and this segment is no exception. We're going to be talking about you in this segment, particularly with a good one. Her name is Dr. Susan Smith Jones. She's devoted her adult life to the field of holistic health and helping people unlock their potentials for more than 3 decades. She's been at UCLA as a health educator. She's widely renowned expert on fitness and nutrition, natural remedies, anti-aging, living a balanced life, and human potential. A rough introduction there, but Dr. Jones, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Warner, I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me.
Indeed. You have a brand new workout called Walking on Air, your 30-day inside and out rejuvenation makeover. You have worked with humanity for 3 decades. Tell us about, and you've written many, many works, but this new one called Walking on Air. Tell us the premise and why you felt it was so important.
Yeah, it is my latest book, and it's based on decades of work with thousands of people around the world. And over the decades, I've given workshops and seminars and retreats, and people kept saying, we need this 30-day program that you're giving us in person in a book so we can have it on our bedside table. So I put all of my best of the best info in this book, and each day it's a different step you take having to do with food, nutrition, health, home, relationships, money, lifestyle, even your state of mind. And so each day you make a shift towards better health, and by the end of 30 days, you'll be rejuvenated and detoxified head to toe, inside out, body, mind, and spirit. And each little lesson, it takes about 10 minutes to read it and think about it, ends with an action step you take and also a positive affirmation. So this is for all those people that haven't been able to come and hear me in person and get the program from me. It's all in a simple book that's selling worldwide.
What, we're talking about sort of cleansing and rejuvenating and all that. It's probably obvious, but Dr. Jones, tell us, how in the world do we get ourselves so darn run down all the time?
Because we ignore the needs of our body. Our body tells us when we're tired, and yet we try to stay up to do one more report at night or help our children with homework, and we don't sleep enough. We go into fast food restaurants. We get our bodies and ourselves all stressed out. We don't do simple things. We don't sleep enough. And, it's not difficult to be healthy. I haven't been sick with a cold or a flu in 28 years. I've never taken any prescription medication. And I learned as a teenager from my grandmother that it's the simple lifestyle choices, from what you eat, how you deal with stress, how often you exercise, how much sleep you get, water you drink, what you think. These have the most enormous impact on your longevity and quality of life.
Do you, I'd like you to do this for us, if you would. Again, we're talking to Dr. Susan Jones, noted holistic health expert. She's been working at UCLA for the past 3 decades. Although if you look at your picture, what are you, 23 years old? My gosh.
Thank you.
Anyway.
No, and I retired from UCLA years ago just so I could travel around the world more.
What?
So I formally taught students, staff, and faculty how to be healthy and fit.
Well, you're kind of leading into my question when you say traveling around the world. I'm curious as to, based on your research and based on your travels, put the United States of America, put the 200 and however many million people that live here in perspective with the rest of the world. Overall, are we in better shape? And when I shape, I mean physically, mentally, et cetera, than those around the world? Put us on a sort of a continuum somewhere.
I wish I could say this in a more positive light, but there are some states in America that are a little bit healthier, even backed by statistics. But most of America is not quite as evolved health-wise as other countries that I've been to. So I think we have a ways to go, and that's one of my passions in life, is to teach people the simple things you can do to keep disease at bay or to heal your body if you're having problems, and to help you with your attitude and precisely what to eat, supplements to take. And it's a decision you make every day. You don't just do it once on January 1st and you're good for the year. But remember, Warner, that every morning you want to make that your best friend, the morning time your best friend, because the first 40 minutes of the day will set the tone for the entire day. So I always start my day being as positive and stress-free as possible, not rushed, healthy, and I always start with a green smoothie, because that will affect the whole rest of my day.
So how much of this, and it's almost impossible, but just in general, do we ignore our body's physical needs or our mental health needs more?
Well, these days I find all around the country and world that people talk about physical health ad nauseum, but sometimes our mental health gets overlooked. For example, you could eat good foods throughout the day. You could exercise enough. But if you do those two, and yet you're not positive, if you're always focusing on negativity, on anger, guilt, hostility, whatever it is, and even if you speak negatively, because your words are very important, it's going to affect your whole body. It's all connected. Body reflects the mind reflects the spirit. And I'm always into watching every word we speak. For example, I won't even say to you, I'm anxious to be with you today. Really what you want to say is you're eager, because the subconscious part of your mind doesn't know that you don't really mean anxious, and your body will take that as and bring forth anxiety in your body. On my website, up in the navigation bar, it says more articles, and the first article is 260 positive words, how to speak and write in a positive light. And I encourage people to watch what you say and, of course, how you think, because you're always attracting back to yourself what you're thinking and what you're saying. So you need to make your words count in life.
You, again, you work with so many people, and I know you lead seminars and you're working with people all the time. Do you find that, again, what I'm looking for here, I guess, is some kind of a pattern somewhere. Do you find in general women are a little bit more in tune to what's going on and take a little bit better care of themselves, or do men, or is it pretty much equal?
I think women care more about how they look, and so then they want to eat better foods and look younger and have more beautiful skin. But I also think women work harder. They come home from a normal day of work if they work outside the home, and then they have a second job at night that increases their stress hormone, cortisol, and when you get less sleep at night, it makes it very difficult to keep your weight down. So I think it's pretty even, except I know women care more about appearance than most men do.
Just and again, I know we're talking to Dr. Susan Jones. Let me get that out of the way. This woman has done so much and contributed decades of energy to trying to make us healthy and trying it with a wake-up call here. But the brand new work is called Walking on Air, your 30-day inside and out rejuvenation makeover. Inside this book, you've got some specifics on specific foods, everything from avocado to garlic and everything in between. Are there some basics? I mean, and again, simply because our time here is limited, are there some basic food groups or basic ways we think about food but just by simply adjusting or doing some rearranging would be a lot healthier?
Absolutely. See, here's a good way to think of nutritious food. Produce, your fresh fruits and veggies. Produce is the most important health care your money can buy. You want to eat your foods as close to the way nature made them. In nature, you don't find ice cream trees and donut vines and potato chip bushes. You've heard of different superfoods. That means high in nutrition, low in calories, great for your body. You've heard of chia seeds, blueberries, acai berries, But this, Warner, is the year of spirulina. That this is a superfood extraordinaire. Hundreds of studies have found it to be the most nutrient-rich food on planet Earth. And for 28 years, I've taken Hawaiian spirulina and have not had a cold or a flu in all of that time. And I know it's not a coincidence. You can get it in a powder or a tablet form. I get both. I use the powder in my smoothies and in different recipes I have on my website. In addition to that superfood, I take one other supplement, and it's a super nutrient. It's called astaxanthin, and it's nature's most powerful antioxidant. And not only does it help with inflammation and it helps with joint health and vision and skin, but not too long ago in the number one British England newspaper, it said that both Heidi Klum and Gwyneth Paltrow take Hawaiian astaxanthin daily. That's their beauty secret, to give them beautiful, glowing, youthful skin. So those are two supplements I take every single day. They replaced about 30 other supplements on my kitchen counter. They're my constant companions. I'd never be without them.
All right. Again, in some of the limited time that we have here, people are listening to this. Let's assume this is day one. They say, you know what? I've heard this so many times, I'm ready to do something. Take us through the first steps that someone should do to get things turned around.
Start the day on a positive note and get moving. Do something in the morning to get your body moving. If you go on a treadmill, if you do jumping jacks, if you do maybe push-ups or stretching. You know, I always recommend to get walking in every day. Walk your dog every day, whether you have a dog or not. Join the breakfast club. You want to make sure you fuel your body in the morning for all the tasks ahead of you. If you can take 10 minutes to do a little meditation, deep breathing in the morning, even 5 minutes, and visualize your day the way you want it to be. They say that most happy, successful people do this every morning. I also say make your day top-heavy. And by that I mean, you know, we always have that one item on our to-do list that we dread, and it looms for you all day or maybe over the week until you, after much procrastination, get to it. But here's an easy tip. To save yourself stress, do that least desirable task first on your list, because then you won't have to be thinking about it through lunch, and you will get the hardest task done, and your day will get progressively easier, not the other way around. And then always carve out a little time during the day, a few minutes, to do some deep breathing for a little bit of downtime, because the higher your cortisol level, the more that causes your body to hold on to all the calories you eat. And of course, Warner, we can't forget, you've got to get enough sleep at night. Too little sleep on a regular basis makes you hungry, especially for foods that are not good for you, and primes your body to hold on to all of the calories you eat. And then I always say, go Hawaiian. Make sure, you know, you can get in my January, February newsletter right on my homepage. At the top, you can get a free book instantly of spirulina, one of astaxanthin, so you can read about why these two gems of nature are my two favorite supplements in the world, and I wouldn't be without them.
Well, it is a fascinating subject, your mind and your body. The work is called Walking on Air, your 30-day inside and out rejuvenation makeover by Dr. Susan Smith Jones, well-known, internationally known health expert, holistic medicine, and just preaching, frankly, from the pulpit of good health. Hey, before we get out of here, Susan, tell us what your website is and how can people get a copy of the book and find out more about just getting healthy.
Yeah, sure thing. My website's simple. It's my name, SusanSmithJones.com. You want to click right on the home page on the January, February newsletter. You'll get lots of great health advice there, all over my website, actually. And if you click on articles, the first 6 articles are all about this superfood extraordinaire called spirulina and about astaxanthin. So you can read the studies, you can get the free books. on my website, and then lots other advice on my website besides the spirulina and the astaxanthin.
Well, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. And if it turns just one person around, it's all been worth it, right?
I agree with that. Thank you, Warner. I'm so happy to be with you. I'd come back with you anytime.
All right. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful year.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
You bet. You will be back with more right after this on Lewis at Large.